Good morning, children. Hope you all doing well. With reference to previous topic, that is introduction part, recalling all the basic things, let us come to the new topic now, that is nervous system. So let us see a definition for response to stimulus. So the definition is any change in the environment, either externally or internally, which may evoke response is called as stimuli. So what does stimuli means? It is nothing but a change. What is that change? A change which can evoke a response in our body is called a stimuli. So in first example, you can see here a emoji showing that a mouth watering after seeing a delicious food. Isn't it? It's obvious response that we feel when we see a chocolate or a ice cream or any delicious food. So that is a change, that is a response you are showing to a delicious food. Okay, your stimuli is nothing but a delicious food that is tempting you to it, and the mouth watering is a response that you are responding to it. Coming to the next picture, here you can see a person is touching a hot object and he feels that temperature and he takes and he removes his hand away from it. Okay, that is a response. He's taking his hand away, that is a response, and the stimulus is change in the temperature. This is what I said, change in the environment either externally or internally. So this is an external environment, that is change in temperature. So it is high temperature, that is the reason he is taking his hand out. Next example, you can see a plant is growing towards the sun. So this is a response by a plant towards a stimuli, that is sunlight. And when you touch a sharp object, so obviously you will feel the pain, isn't it? So immediately you will take out your hand. So these are the few examples you can relate with the definition. Okay. So what is the purpose of this stimuli? How stimuli and responses helps us? The ability of an organism to respond to a stimuli and produce respective response is very much important, and that ability enable the organism to survive. It is survival of a organism. So that is a purpose. For example, if a cat see a dog, it identifies the dog and run away to protect itself. Okay, that is a sense organ. So which is a sense organ that is responsible here? Eyes, isn't it? It is seeing that a dog is chasing it. So that is why the cat is running away to protect itself. Okay, we can take other example. If you see some dust around you, so what is the immediate response that you do? Either you close your eyes, either you close your nose. So you are protecting your organs, isn't it? So that is how our body protect from external and internal change by the mechanism of stimuli and response. That is how our body is protected and how we survive. So in previous slide, I gave few examples for response to stimulus. If you think more deeply, you realize all these movements are not controlled and in response to internal trigger or stimulus. The control and coordination in animals is done by nervous system. Nervous system consists of a network of nerve cell or neuron. I repeat, nervous system consists of network of nerve cell or neuron. Some of these nerve cells have specialized tips which detect external stimulus. These specialized tips are called as sensory receptors. Okay. All the sensory receptors are present in the sense organs. So that is 5 sense organs. You can recall it. That is eyes, ears, nose, tongue and skin. So here I have given the example. So these two sensory receptors are mentioned in your syllabus. So please give some importance to it. So first example is sensory receptor which is present in the tongue. So remember the term, that is gustatory receptor. So I repeat, it is gustatory receptor which is present in the tongue. So when you taste a bitter gourd, you feel that it is very bitter. The name itself is bitter gourd, isn't it? So how you feel that taste? So that is through your taste buds. That is where the gustatory receptor is present. Because of these receptors, we can say that the food is sweet or salty or sour or bitter, isn't it? Similarly, there is another sensory receptor that is present in your nose, that is called olfactoreceptor. So what is it? That is olfactoreceptor. So remember these two receptors, it is very important, it is mentioned in your syllabus. These receptor which I said, that is olfactoreceptor, detects the smell. Okay, you can smell the food, you can smell the odor of a food, or you can smell a flower, example jasmine or a rose. So how this senses, that is through your olfactoreceptor. Okay, coming to the structure of neuron, the very important diagram that you need to practice at least 5 times you practice. Okay, it's very important in exam point of view. So let us see what is the structure of neuron. A neuron is also called as a nerve cell. So don't get confused with this. Either they may ask write the structure of neuron, or they may ask write the structure of nerve cell. So both are the same. Okay. A neuron or a nerve cell consists of three main parts, that is a cell body, dendrites and axon. So let us see what is the function of a cell body. So it is a spherical part similar to a round shape, a spherical part of a nerve cell that contains a nucleus. You can see a nucleus within the cell body. Next is dendrites. You can see a small branches arising out of a cell body, that is nothing but a dendrites. So it is a branches of neuron which receive the signals from other cells. So it is main function is to receive the signals from where? From other cells. Next is axon. So axon is the longest dendrite that is present in the neuron. So you can see a long dendrite. Okay. So what is the function of this? It transmits the signal. So here you can compare the difference. Dendrites receives the signals, and in case of axon, it transmits the signals to the other cell. Okay, let us get into the brief function of the neuron in an upcoming slide. Okay, let us see how this neuron function. The main function of these nerve cells is to receive, conduct and transmit the signals. Okay, the three function, that is receive, conduct and transmit the signals. So what happens in dendrites? The dendrites of the nerve cell receive the signal and sets off a chemical reaction. So here what happens? The dendrite of a nerve cell, it receives the signals, and that is how the chemical reactions happens. Okay, this chemical reaction creates a electrical impulse. So what happens after the chemical reaction? The electric impulses has been obtained. This impulse are transmitted from this dendrite to the cell body, and then it goes to axon. From the axon, this signal transmitted to dendrites to the another neuron. In the picture you can see the axon terminal, that is the end part of one neuron, is connected to another part of a dendrite. that is another neuron. So here you can see it is interconnected. Okay, it is not only one neuron you are studying. You can see a millions of cells, that is nerve cells in your nervous system. Okay, it is interconnected. So the signals are transmitted from one neuron to another neuron. So you can see the junction between the axon and the axon of a first neuron and the dendrite of the second neuron. So this is known as synapse. You should know this term, synapse. It is very important. So they may ask, what is synapse? So it is nothing but the junction between the axon of the first neuron and the dendrite of the second neuron is known as synapse. At the end of the axon of the first neuron, concentrate, at the end of the axon of the first neuron, the electrical impulses sets off a chemical reaction. These chemicals generated by this reaction, they cross the synapse and generate electrical impulse again in the dendrite of the next neuron. And finally, as I mentioned earlier, that the impulses from all these nerve cells transmitted to the cell of a sensory organs like your muscle cells or any glands. Okay, so main thing you should understand is dendrites receive the signal. After receiving the signal, what happens? The chemical reactions happens. These chemical reactions create an electrical impulse, and this impulse is transmitted from dendrite to a cell body, then to axon. From the axon, this signal is transmitted to the dendrites to the another neuron. So this is how it is transmitted from one neuron to another neuron. Okay, and here you should know the term synapse. So that is a junction between axon of a first neuron and the dendrite of the second neuron is known as synapse. Fine. So if you have any doubts on this, you can ask me. I'll explain once again. Here in the figure, you can see how the axons are transmitted the information to the muscle cell. Example, same example I'm repeating. Taking away and from a hot object, that quick movement is said to be reflex action. So we can define reflex action as an involuntary instantaneous movement, because it is involuntary because it is not under your control. Okay, it is immediate response. So that is why it is involuntary instantaneous movement in response to external stimulus. External stimulus is nothing but a high temperature here. So just imagine when you put your hand on a hot object. So what exactly happens inside your body? Okay, when you touch a hot object, the signals from your hand. So there is a receptors present on the skin. So this detects the signals. Okay, so these signals from your hand are taken up by the neurons and are transmitted to the brain. These signals are detected by the brain, and then the brain prepares the response which is transmitted back from the brain to your hand, and which made you to remove your hand from a hot object. Understanding? So this is how the mechanism happens. So in case, unfortunately, if you touch any hot object or a flame, so just compare this explanation with that situation so that you can understand the concept. Okay. So in a present slide, you will be studying about a reflex arc. So what is reflex arc and its definition? So before the definition, I'll just tell you verbally what is sensory neuron and motor neuron. So what is sensory neuron, children? Neuron that carry the signals from all parts of the body and transmit it to brain. For example, in the previous slide, I gave an example. Okay, so the signals from all parts of the body are transmitted to the brain. It is said to be sensory neuron. So in turn, you should get a response, right? So that is from the brain to all parts of the body. It is called motor neurons. The neurons that carry the signals from the brain to all parts of the body is called motor neurons. I'll give you the notes for all these topics at the end of the chapter so that you can make the notes and understand thoroughly. Okay. So let us see what is reflex arc now. Now you all know the reflex action is very quick, but it would take much longer if the information goes all way from sensory organs to the brain. So the response to this reflex action are given up by spinal cord, because spinal cord is a meeting point of the input of sensory nerves and output of motor nerves. Understood? So whatever the signals is been transmitted, so that is a sensory response that has been meeting at a point in a spinal cord. So the response in turn, you should give a response, that output response is from the motor nerves. So now you take down the definition for reflex arc. The shortened nerve pathway, the shortened nerve pathway, the connection between the sensory and the motor nerve that controls the reflex action is known as a reflex arc. So you can define the reflex arc now. The shortened nerve pathway, or the connection between sensory and the motor nerve that controls the reflex action. Your reflex arc is controlling your reflex action. So okay, that is said to be a reflex arc. Now let's quickly summarize the whole topic. That is, nervous system consists of many nerve cells or neurons. A nerve cell is made up of a cell body, dendrites, axon. Dendrites receives the information from the organs and carry on this information as electrical impulses throughout the axon. From the axon, these impulses set off some chemical reaction. The chemicals made by this chemical reaction then cross the synapse and reach as the impulse on the dendrites of the next neurons, and thus the information is carried from the sense organs to the brain and back from brain to the sense organs. Next, we studied about the reflex action, that is an involuntary instantaneous movement in response to some external stimulus, or called reflex action. Thank you. Hope you have followed the lesson. So I'll give a brief notes at the end of the chapter, the explanation part and the chapter exercise questions. I'll give it in the PDF form so that you can copy to your notes. Okay. Good day. Bye.